Okay, abusuafoɔ, meda mo nyinaa ase. Wei ne yɛ last presentation on the lesson, and it's about how to do the analysis. Now, assuming this is the information that the school was able to provide, name of student, gender, birth date, and the rest. Okay, you have them here. When you check the input form, you see that all the entries are pre-filled, are pre-filled because of the functionality of Excel, uh, um, Excel as a tool for data analysis. Nti mmɔfra no nyinaa din wɔ ha. They are sex, male or female, age, grade, and score, and the rest. Now we have other um, pages from named data for basic 1, data basic 2, basic 3, up to basic 6. So I will use basic 1 to do the explanation of how to do the analysis. Now, if you take basic 1, here this page gives analysis of all the information you need to know to make informed decisions in basic 1. Okay, so look at the features. We have the class here, basic 1 primary 1. We have the baseline assessment. We have not yet done the midterm, so it's not reflected here. The end line too is not reflected here. What is average out of 20? It's about for basic 1 or primary 1. It's about adding the scores. Assuming you mark the test items out of 20, then it means you can get the average out of 20 by adding all the scores of all the peoples and then divide by the number of peoples. And that gave us 10.3 over here. Average out of 100, assuming you mark the script out of 100 too, this will be the average performance of the pupils in basic 1 or primary 1 or grade 1. Correct answers rate refers to the number of answers that were correct, and it is 51.4. That's the um, percentage of test items that the pupils had correct over the total number of test items. That 100% have 51.5. And Excel has made it because of its its tools functionality is able to calculate and do all these things. We use this information to make informed decisions going forward. Average by gender, male. So here we are able to find out about the performance of males, the average performance of males in the class. So here the male was 47. The male average performance for male was 47.6, and that of female was 55.7. Good. So what it actually means is that I use this to find out about how many children are performing below average or above average. So how many boys are performing below 47.6% or above 47.6%, and can make informed decision on it. Okay. Maximum score determines help us to know the maximum score that was scored by um, any of your pupils. The minimum score refers to the minimum score had by any of the learners in basic 1. And median to it applies the most number. So in between the maximum score and the minimum score, you can clearly say that when you arrange all their scores in ascending or descending order, the middle number will be what? Will be 10. So you'll be able to know how many learners perform hard scores the below 10 or behind and in front of 10. Yeah. Okay. And make informed decisions for that particular class. Let's come to the level. The level 2, we have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, as I mentioned, up to level 8. And how do you analyze results over here? Here, level 1, if we have zero figure here indicating that no child was placed in level 1. Okay. Here it means that 15 learners in P1 were placed under level 2, and here no child in P1 was placed in level 3, 4, 5, or 6, or 7. That was based on their performance. The same thing applies to midline and end line. Now let's come to the pictorial analysis, the graphical analysis. What we did was numerical analysis. Now we're going to use the histogram to do the pictorial analysis or the graphical analysis. So you see that here we are able to know how many learners had scores between 0 and 10, or 0 and 2, 10 and 20, or 2 and 4, 20 and 10. So here no child had marks scored between in basic 1 had score between 0 and 10%. No child one only a single child or a child had a number or a score had a score between 10 and 20 up. It will go on and on. And only one child had a mark or scored a mark between 90 and 100. Why are we doing that? We are doing this because to enable us to determine the percentage, the number of children or pupils in basic 1, this particular class, basic 1, who's during the baseline assessment had marks 70% or more. So that is the record here. So it means that only 4 children had or scored above 70% mark, right? Okay. Then when you come here to it tells us that the percentage of learners or people who had marks of 75%, 70% or more was for 27%. So this is indeed a clear picture or illustration of performance of pupils in basic 1 as far as um, baseline assessment test is concerned. You can even use this as a tool for school-based assessment and end of term assessment. So you can follow this analysis for basic 2, basic 3, basic 4, basic 5, basic 6. Sorry. The total gives the summary information of all the classes from basic 1 to basic 6. So here you are able to know in basic 1 how many scored about 70%. That's 27% scored about above 70, or had marks, obtained marks 70 or more. 29% in basic 2 had, basic 3 nothing, basic 4 nothing, basic 5 nothing, basic 6 nothing. Then you scroll down, we have number of level by achievement level. So here clearly this gives illustration of the performance of all the learners from basic 1 up to basic 6. And you see that I have level 1, level 2. So the whole school, 19 learners were placed in level 2, 51 were placed in level 3, 21 were placed in level 4, 4 were placed in level 5, 5 were placed in level 6. No student were placed in level 7 and 8. It was a baseline assessment. Right. Now let's move on to the summary. The summary gives an ela- a summary of the number of people who were in the class basic 1 and the various classes 2, 3 up to 6, and their total number as it appears here. So here it means that the whole school there were about 100 learners. Total expected score. We're expecting that they score 300 for basic 1, basic 2. It's calculated based on multiply 20, which is 20 times the number of people. 20 means the number of test items, sorry, the number of expected score. So it means that the school used 20 as uh, um, the benchmark. The denominator was 20. So every child, the test item was marked out of 20. was multiplied by the number of people to get the total expected. Actual raw score. So those children in basic 1, 15, we added all their raw scores and Excel has done it. We had 154.2. So that's the total raw score that was added. Then we have the average out of 100 or out of total items. We have 10.3 here. Right, that's the average score for basic 1 was 10.3. Right. Then we also have number and percent of people who scored 70% or more. So in basic 1, 4 students or learners had scored 4%. Sorry, they had 70% marks and above. The percentage was 26%. You can do all this and have the general analysis. I must say that you use here the total, the analysis results, result of the analysis and the pictorial analysis for your General Assembly meeting. All right, thank you very much for your attention. All your questions and answers, suggestions are welcome on the WhatsApp platform. Thank you.